In a shift from past policy, the Trump administration has agreed to further talks with Russia on ending the war in Ukraine without Ukraine at the table. The move marks a departure from Washington's previous approach, which focused on rallying allies to isolate Vladimir Putin.
US President Donald Trump has appeared to suggest Ukraine was to blame for Russia's invasion in 2022 and argued Kyiv could have stopped the war with negotiation. He made those remarks Tuesday in Mar-a-Lago, the same day of US-Russian talks in Saudi Arabia to end the war in Ukraine, talks where Ukraine was not present.
But today I heard, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal.
Ukraine was invaded by Russia in a full-scale assault in February 2022 in what's become the deadliest conflict in Europe since World War II. On Tuesday, Trump took swipes at Kyiv, saying they should have held talks much earlier.
A half-baked negotiator could have settled this years ago without the loss of much land, very little land, without the loss of any lives, and without the loss of cities that are just laying on their side.
As for the talks, Trump said he was more confident after them and that he may meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin before the end of the month. He also said Ukraine should hold elections to potentially replace President Volodymyr Zelensky, whose term was supposed to end last year. Polls are banned under martial law in Ukraine, which has been in effect since Russia's invasion. Zelensky postponed his own trip to Saudi Arabia set for this week. Sources say the decision was made to avoid giving legitimacy to the US-Russia talks. The official stance in Kyiv is that talks on how to end the war should not be held behind Ukraine's back. The Tuesday meeting in Saudi Arabia saw Russia harden its demands, saying NATO should abandon its 2008 promise to grant Ukraine membership at a future unspecified date. Moscow also said it would not accept any NATO troop presence in Ukraine. Leaders in Ukraine and Europe are worried Trump and Putin could cut a quick deal that rewards Moscow for its invasion. European politicians have accused Trump of handing out concessions to Russia for free even before talks began, since he's ruled out Ukraine's NATO membership and said it was an illusion Kyiv could win back territory now under Russian control. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Tuesday the European Union needed to be involved in peace talks at some point, and any solution must be acceptable to all parties.